B2B marketing in 2026 has gotten way too complicated. Companies are getting out there and running a LinkedIn strategy, a webinar strategy, an event strategy, a TikTok strategy. They're running a newsletter, they're running paid ads, and they're even running a podcast. But at the same time, when you look at revenue growth and when you look at pipeline, all that marketing activity, all that marketing spend, all those marketing agencies and resources, and you compare that to the actual revenue, it's not adding up. The revenue is not there, the ROI is not there. So here's the big question. What's going on in B2B marketing today? It turns out there's actually only 3 B2B marketing channels that matter today in 2026. The rest of them are complete distractions, even though there are people out there charging money to do it for you. So in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what those 3 important B2B marketing channels are. I'm gonna split it into 2 different segments. I'm gonna rule out all the ones that you should be ignoring, and I'm gonna walk you through how to win in the 3 channels that actually matter. And when you implement this marketing strategy, you're gonna be able to accelerate your path to the next stage of growth. Intro. What's up, everybody? I'm TK. I'm the managing director here at TK Capital, and on this channel, I share everything that I'm learning in growing SaaS, AI, and B2B companies because I own a portfolio of SaaS, AI, and advisory companies. So in this channel, I share everything I'm learning, everything that's working across my portfolio companies and my clients so that you actually can implement these pieces and grow your companies as well. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and a bell icon where you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. If you're already part of this community, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. All right, so first of all, let's get the credibility out of the way. You're probably wondering, why am I credible in actually sharing the 3 B2B marketing channels that matter? Well, let me just walk you through my background real quick. My last company, THREE, we pioneered the sales engagement category, the category that made it possible for you to spam 1,000 people right now and buying email lists and intent data. And we'll talk about that in a second. We were backed by the likes of Andreessen Horowitz, Jackson Square Ventures, Founder Collective. We scaled that company and got to 100,000 salespeople using our platform. And then we sold it to a market leader called Marketo. Marketo pioneered the B2B marketing automation space. I joined their executive team. I was there as VP of strategy. We did a 2-year transformation, and then we sold Marketo to Adobe for $4.75 billion. Then I started one of my current portfolio companies, Unstoppable. Unstoppable helps B2B founders and CEOs with marketing. To date, we've had over 1,000 customers. And if you go to our website right over here or over here, it's one of these 2, you'll see all the success stories that we have actually collected. So that's our track record. And also Unstoppable itself has over 130,000 users and subscribers across all the platforms that we operate in. So based on running all these companies and scaling these companies, I've come to find these are the 3 most important B2B marketing channels that work today. And this is not just from my prior companies, these are from my current portfolio companies and from the 1,000 companies that I've helped scale and helped implement this playbook for. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's dig right into it. The first thing I really want to highlight is, let's just rule out the ones that are just terrible marketing channels that you can actually fire the agencies right now. So I always look at marketing and marketing strategies between 2 methods. There is essentially the pull method and there is the push method. Push method is when you are trying to push your product to them. Pull is when they're coming to you. And almost immediately, if today in 2026, if your entire marketing strategy is based on the push method, it is going to be a losing game. So the key channels that are basically losing games, I'm gonna put this in red and I'm gonna dig into the 3 channels that matter the most. In fact, we'll kind of mark this right here. We'll do number 1, number 2, and number 3, but let's cover the losing ones first and get them out of the way. The losing ones include just going to an event and having a booth, or even worse, just going to an event and having no booth. Losing game, because you're just kind of standing there and no one's gonna come to your booth. Even if they do, they're probably not gonna buy from you because it's a total losing game because your competitors are right next to you. The second one is cold email. If you are spamming, and I know this is like kind of convenient, like I know I helped start the outbound category and the sales engagement category, but that was 15 years ago. Back then, you used to get a really high response rate because it was really hard to spam people. But today, between AI SDRs and Apollo and Lendless and you name it, you can pretty much spam people and everyone else is already doing it and everyone knows. And even if you use an AI SDR, everyone can tell it's a fake personalized email, so they ignore it. So you get about a 1% response rate, total losing game. The next channel that you can start to rule out is shared lead lists. This one's actually one of the biggest traps for marketers today. So I'll kind of walk through what this breaks down into. If you are paying for G2, Forrester, Gartner, etc., if you're paying for Google Ads, if you are paying a lead gen agency to sell you leads, if you're going on Apollo and downloading a set of target lists and then cold emailing them, pretty much a losing game. Why? Because they are selling those leads and those people that are maybe in market to buy. Oh, I'll put 6 cents over here too. They are basically selling it to all your competitors too. By the time you get a lead on like, oh, this person's interested in your space, or they're looking at reviews of your software category, or, oh, they clicked on a blue link in the Google search results. Oh, and by the way, they clicked on the 5 other links as well. Or the lead gen agency that's selling you a lead and then selling it to 5 other people. Basically, it's a losing game because you are now pushing into them and so are your competitors. So these are the channels that you can almost immediately just start to rule out because they just are a losing game in 2026 today. The fundamental thing about this is they're trying to push into your ideal customers. And honestly, as you are pushing into them through events and cold emails and shared lead lists, the one thing that is true across all of these, the common denominator is along with your ideal customers, you are also pushing into them with your competitors. So your competitors are literally right next to you as you are approaching them. Even in their inbox, as they look at your cold email, your competitor will be there. With the shared lead lists, as you buy that lead, you're gonna be reaching out and they're gonna be reaching out. At an event, while you're standing in a booth like a chump, your competitor is gonna be right across and you're gonna be looking at each other in the eyes. I know you've done this. So that is the fundamental problem with the push method. Now that we have the push method out of the way and why it sucks, let's talk about the pull method and the 3 channels that matter in 2026 and beyond. Now, I forgot to mention this, but right in the middle of this circle is basically your ideal customer profile, your ideal customer. This is the collection of people that you would love to have as customers. What is marketing? Marketing is where more people, more of the ideal customers know about you today than they did yesterday. And that's marketing. So what we're really trying to do is, I'm gonna use a different color for this. Colors are fun, right? Smash that like button if you like the colors. What we're trying to do is spin up marketing where more people know about us today than yesterday. The other thing that's true about great marketing is people need to see you a bunch of times in different places for them to start to trust you and come to you. So what we're also trying to do is make it where you're everywhere and your competitors are not there. That's what we're trying to do. So based on that, there's 3 channels that actually matter today, and these channels work in a way where they come to you. You're pulling the ideal customers to you instead of you pushing into them, along with your competitors, which is super awkward. So the first one, the first channel, and what should we do? Green or purple? Let's do green. We'll keep with green, but we'll use a smaller. Do I have a green? I don't have a green marker, a small one. Okay, we'll do this one. So the first one is the social feeds. So organic social. Now, if you're in B2B, if you're doing software, SaaS, AI, if you're doing higher ticket items, like bigger size items, considered purchases, then organic social, LinkedIn is gonna be your thing. If you are B2B, but you're doing smaller ticket, if you're in like insurance, home services, that kind of thing, then Facebook and Instagram are gonna be your thing. So smaller the deal size, it's gonna be Meta, and the bigger the deal size, the bigger the buyer, it's going to be LinkedIn. Those are your 2 networks that you wanna focus on. And what you wanna focus on is organic social. The reason organic social is super powerful is because you put content out there and your ideal customer is going to see it in their social feeds, and then they're gonna come to you. You're putting it out there and the algorithm basically decides, hey, is this gonna be valuable for this person? And it'll show it to them. And then that person will tap into it and it will actually attract them to you and your brand. So that's the number 1 channel that really matters today. If you look across my portfolio companies, YouTube is a big one. I do YouTube, but you don't have to become a YouTuber. We use LinkedIn and Meta heavily. When we look at clients under our advisory business, LinkedIn is number 1, Meta is number 2, and follows that structure where if you are bigger deal sizes, bigger organizations, LinkedIn. If you are smaller deal sizes, lower in the organizations, then Meta. That's kind of how it works. Organic social also doesn't mean that you have to become a content creator. You absolutely do not need to become a content creator. You do need to post on organic social, but you do not need to be a content creator. And by the time I go to the third one, I'll show you how you do this in a way where you don't have to become a content creator. So number one is organic social. Now, I'll give some caveats. Some caveats here, and I've covered this in other episodes that I've done on the new way to do go-to-market, the new way to get inbound leads, is number one, with organic social, there's two ways to do this. The first way is where you go out there like a broke influencer. You post a selfie of yourself, you post yourself in the office, some weird, awkward picture, and you start telling some story about how, you proposed to your girlfriend and you learned everything you ever needed to learn about B2B sales that way. And then you start sharing all this crap. And you get a bunch of likes and then you get no pipeline. Therefore, you become a broke influencer. Not only do some of these people become broke influencers, they end up even more broke because they get no pipeline, but they still pay their content agency. And then it feeds your ego. You get a bunch of likes. So when you meet with the content agency, it's like, hey, I'm paying you $2,500 a month, but I'm getting a bunch of likes and no pipeline. They're like, well, look at all this engagement we're getting. And look at all these likes, look at all these comments, and it's building your brand. And you feel really good, so you keep paying them and they keep earning their dollar. And it's basically super easy to do those posts. So they're making a ton of money and you're being a broke influencer. So don't do it that way. The way you should do organic content is you should post educational content, meaningful educational content that speaks to your ideal customer. Talk about the problems you solve. Talk about the things you've learned from your other customers. Talk about the unlocks you've gotten in building the platform. Talk about what makes you super different and what you guys do and how you do it. Talk about the success stories. Talk about the big macro trends that are happening in your industry. Talk about your unique differentiation in the market and your unique point of view. And every single time, link to a lead magnet. That way they enter their email and they actually become an inbound lead. That's how you do organic social. Once you get that going, and sometimes also people ask me like, hey TK, I have 5 followers, one of them is my mom. Totally fine. It doesn't matter. Followers don't matter anymore because if you look at your feed, it's not people you just follow, it's people that care about what you're posting about. And it's people that are posting about the things you care about. So if you post something that's relevant to your ideal customer, you will get a lot of engagement. You may not get a lot of likes, you may not get a ton of views, you may not go viral, but you will get leads and you will make money. That's what matters. So organic social, number one. Number two, once you get organic social going, then the next thing that you want to break into, I'm going to make this look like, hopefully my drawing will make sense, is warm email. Every single one of your organic social posts provides a lead magnet. So you get their email address. They came to you. You're pulling them. You're not pushing yourself. Once they come to you, then you send them a warm email. And you say, hey, I noticed you grabbed a copy of my guide. I noticed that you might be interested in this because you look like exactly what my other customers are, and here are my other customers. Would it make sense to have a conversation? That's it. And the big difference between cold email versus warm email is because they'll recognize you. They'll look at their inbox and be like, oh, wait a minute, I remember this guy. And people do remember. Believe it or not, they do remember, especially if this guide that you gave them is truly valuable. So organic social, inbound leads, and then warm email. That's how these two pieces come together. This alone, you might do a post a week for 3 weeks. That's usually how I structure it. Do a 3-week sprint. You have great posts. You will get leads. And you actually will be shocked how few leads you need to start revenues flowing in a different direction. Because these inbound leads convert to meetings, and those meetings turn into deals, and those deals are won at a 50% win rate, whereas these cold emails have a 1% response rate. The mathematics behind the funnel that this follows is totally different because these are high intent people. They've already identified like, hey, I like this guy. I like what he's talking about. This is exactly what we're struggling with. They look at your lead magnet. I call it a manifesto. And they look at it and they're like, oh my God, they understand me. And then they book a call. It is a completely different way of generating pipeline, leads, and revenues. Because they come to you and they're like, you understand me. And you're like, let me walk you through how we approach this. And then they buy. And they buy at a higher clip. It's incredibly powerful. Organic social, lead magnet, warm email. Now, I promised you in the beginning of this video, I said you don't have to become a broke influencer or a content creator. So this is where number 3 comes in on how you can actually scale this and amplify this, because I don't post every day. Believe it or not, you can go check out my LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm very active on X. I'm obviously active on YouTube. I do not post every day. I don't need to, because I have a whole system that runs around the clock for me. And that's what number 3 is. Before I go into number 3, let me pause here for a second. If you are starting to see the power between the push method and the pull method, if you're starting to see how if you go to an event, if you do cold email and you buy shared leads through any of these sources, you're basically showing up to your ideal customers with your competitors. You're literally showing up at their door with your competitors next to you. If you're starting to see how that kind of sucks and how you've been fooled and how they're distracting you, if you're starting to see how being a broke influencer posting selfies on organic social is just dumb because likes boost your ego and the bank account of the content writer, but does nothing for you, if you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel on how you can actually focus on at least the 2 marketing channels that matter the most today in 2026 and beyond. Can I just get, oh yes, in the comments below? And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It loves it when you do that. The like button for the YouTube algorithm is its love language. That is truly its love language. It loves it when you do that. So please smash that like button. That way we can reach more people that have the same exact problems that you're struggling with, that we're helping with. Also, the comment section is my love language. When you post a comment about an aha moment you've had, a question you have, a thought you had, when you hate on me, I love all of it. Because once you have haters, that means you are out of obscurity. Once you have people that love what you're sharing, it's even better. And I want both. So the comments thread is my love language. So please put stuff in the comments, smash that like button. Also, if you're starting to wonder, hey TK, how do I do organic social? How do I figure out my ideal customer profile? How do I do these warm emails? How to do the third thing you're about to tell me, even though I can maybe guess, you definitely won't be able to guess. Maybe you can, I don't know. How do I do this lead magnet? Then you should grab a copy of my 5-point AI SaaS and B2B growth strategy guide. I know that's a mouthful. It has my best resources on how to implement these pieces. All you have to do is just follow the link in the description below. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I wanna tell you number 3 because this is what brings the whole thing together. And then I'll tell you more details about the guide and what's inside of it. I'll give you one more resource that you can watch that helps mobilize all these. Let's dig into number 3, and then I'll tell you all about all of that. Okay, number 3, I don't want you to be posting every day. I don't post every single day. I experimented for 1 year where I paid a human to post for me every day in the way that I like to post. Pretty good results, but turns out number 3 was better. The money was better spent here. So the third thing you want to do is paid ads on social, but there's a nuance here. You don't create ads. If there's an agency telling you, hey, you need to spend $5K a month and then we're gonna experiment a bunch of stuff and see what sticks, fire them. They suck. What you should be doing is taking your best organic content and turning them into ads. There is an easy way to do this. For LinkedIn, these are called thought leader ads. You basically go into your ad account and you say, these are my organic posts that I love, that generated leads for me. I want you to promote it to my ICP and I'll pay you money. And then you can just sleep for the next 3 weeks, next month, next 6 months. You'll probably be on sales calls. You won't be sleeping, but leads will continue to flow in through these organic posts that link to your lead magnet. Super easy. If you are on Meta, they don't have thought leader ads, but you can literally take the organic posts that did well and you can promote them. So you can promote that, or you can just create similar ads using the same copy. Either is fine. And you can test that out. If you have a good ads person, they'll be able to figure that out for you. But ultimately, it's the same thing. You are making these ads go to the lead magnet. So you're actually getting leads and you're educating them. What you are not doing is trying to just sell them on your product, because that's what most agencies do and that's where they fail. So you want to still educate them with the lead magnet. That's really what makes this work. And you want to make it, your organic content, get amplified using the paid ads. The third thing that you want to do is you want to do retarget. So anyone that looks at your posts, anyone that goes to your lead magnet, anyone that goes to your website, you want to retarget them across as many channels as possible and drive them to case studies and book a call or trial, whichever one you're doing. So what you're doing is you're attracting them using educational content, and then you're retargeting them on the case studies to build more trust and then to book a call. What this does when you set it up is it creates what I call a surround sound effect. where everywhere your ICP goes, on social, on random websites, on their inbox, you are there, not asking if they want to buy, but building trust, providing value, offering something. That is the key part about this pull method versus the push method. This is why they come to you, because you built so much trust, you've provided so much value. By the time they show up to a sales call with you, they're like, hey, you are speaking my language. You understand my problems. Tell me what I need to do. And then you can walk through exactly if they're the right fit. If you're selling services, you can walk through your services. If you're selling software, you can do your demo. If you're doing a 12-month enterprise deal, you can manage that process. If you're one call close 40K deal, you can manage that process. If you're a self-service product, you can direct them to the buying page. Either way, they're gonna come educated because you've created so much value and so much trust. This third piece is what brings it together. This makes it where you don't have to post every single day. You are not burning ad budget on random guesses. And also, it's strategic. It compounds because you're gonna be everywhere. Everywhere. And that's what makes all of this work. So let's recap. Today, in 2026, these are the 3 marketing channels that actually matter. Number 1, you wanna do organic social and you wanna offer a lead magnet. Number 2, you want to do warm email. Once they become a lead, you reach out to them. And number 3, you want to do paid ads, amplifying the organic content that worked and retargeting the people that are learning more about you with case studies, and then the call to action to book a call or start a trial. The better your marketing, the easier the sales. Like for example, today for Unstoppable, my advisory business, we have 0 salespeople. We don't do sales. Our marketing is so great. Our success stories are so great. We just don't do sales. We tell them where to sign up. If they don't want to, totally cool. Because by the time they're ready to sign up, they have consumed so much content. They've seen so many success stories. They are like, these people get it. I'm gonna do this. The better the marketing, the less sales you need. Now, that's not true for every company. You can't have enough proof points, enough trust building. Sometimes they're just gonna have questions, and that's okay. You'll have an easier sales process. But the less marketing you have, the harder the sales process. The longer the sales process, the lower the win rate. And this is why this strategy works today. This is why these 3, using this pull method, works so well today in 2026 and beyond. So now you know exactly what the 3 channels to focus on are. What you may not know is, TK, how do I figure out my ideal customer profile? What should I post about? What should my lead magnet manifesto be? What should I say on my warm emails? How do I run the paid ads? This is why I put together my 5-point B2B growth strategy guide. To grab your copy, just go to getunstoppable.com/strategy. Getunstoppable.com/strategy. It's completely free. It's got my best resources, and it's gonna teach you how to dig into each of these pieces. Now, if you're still watching, and before you go off to grab that copy of the guide, if you got value from this video, please smash that like button. For the YouTube algorithm, it just loves it when you do that. Please post in the comments any aha moment, any value you got, any insight that you had. And if you're a hater, please post there as well. I love haters. I love haters. It means that when you have haters, you're out of obscurity. If you have a fellow founder, if you have a team member that would get value from this video, please share this with them. If you're part of a WhatsApp group, a Slack group of other people that would get value from this, please share this video. We want to serve as many marketers and founders and CEOs out there as possible. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics on what's actually working across my portfolio companies, across the clients we serve on this channel every single Sunday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon that you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is gonna be unstoppable. Also, if you wanna dig into how to generate more inbound leads, then watch this video. Inside of this video, I show you how to get 100 inbound leads every single month. Take care, everybody.